In the previous video, we set up the pickup to appear correctly. Next, we'll add the code to let the player pick up the pickup. We'll do this using the pickup class. Pickup will make the object disappear when the object is collected. After a certain delay, the object will reappear. This means that we need to control how long that delay is. We'll do this with a variable, public float respawn time equals 5, so 5 seconds. We want to detect when an object enters the trigger. We can do this in the onTriggerEnter function. Void onTriggerEnter receives a parameter, which is a collider, which we'll call C. We want to find out if the collider belongs to the player. We can check this by saying if c.gameObject.compareTag player is true, then we'll call a function called pickedUp, which we'll write in a moment. The pickedUp function will need to receive the object that was collected. This will be necessary for the pickups, because the pickup needs to be able to know which object to apply a health pickup to. So we'll go c.gameObject. Let's implement the function. We can actually make use of MonoDevelop's built-in refactoring tools by moving the mouse cursor into the picked up line. Notice how it's red right now because that function doesn't exist. Pressing Option Enter or Alt Enter on a PC and choosing Create Method. We may get a warning about MonoDevelop not supporting certain C# 6 refactorings. That's fine. We can click Use Refactorings, choose where to put it, press Enter, and now picked up has been implemented. Importantly, it's also got the parameter set up for us as well. Get rid of that. The pickup script will be on the object along with the other scripts that actually implement the specific behavior of what this pickup does. For example, the health pickup will also have a pickup health component, and the speed pickup will have a pickup speed component. Both of these two scripts, which we'll write in a moment, will have a pickup collected function. We're going to use the send message function to make sure that those functions on other components on this object are called. So send message will call the pickup collected function, and the parameter that they'll receive will be the game object that picked up the object. After we've sent this message, we'll also call start coroutine and start a new coroutine called disappear and reappear. This will handle the hiding and then reappearing of the object. We'll go IEnumerator, disappear, and reappear. And what we'll do is we'll hide all of the children by saying for each transform child in transform, so all of the children of this object, child.gameObject.setActive false. So we'll hide them. We'll also disable the collider as well by saying getComponent collider.enabled equals false. We'll then wait for the prescribed amount of time by saying yield return new wait 4 seconds respawn time. Then after that, we'll re-enable the collider, getComponent collider enabled equals true, and then re-enable the children. For each transform child in transform child game object set active true. So we are disabling children, disabling the collider, waiting, then re-enabling the collider and re-enabling the children. Now you might be wondering, why don't we just call set active on the current object? The reason is that when you disable an object, all of its coroutines stop. So if we were to call this .gameObject.setActiveFalse, the disappear and reappear coroutine would stop as well, and we'd never reappear. Let's save our work. We'll go back into Unity. We'll now add the second script needed for the health pickup. The health pickup specifically implements the behavior of restoring health. We'll click Add Component, and we'll call it Pickup Health. We'll open up the script. We'll get rid of both the start and the update functions. The only function we need is void pickup collected. This receives a game object called game object. Could be called anything. We'll call it game object here. And game object is the object that collected this pickup. And we've guaranteed that it's the player. We'll find the damage taking component on this object and instruct it to restore all health by saying var damage taking equals gameObject.getComponent damage taking. And then if that's not null, if damage taking is not null, then we'll call a new function, damage taking.restore health. This is a new function that doesn't yet exist. So let's implement that now. We'll go to damagetaking.cs and we'll add a new function in here, public void restore health. all this will do is we'll say current health equals max health. Before we go back into our game, we'll also add a log in here saying debug.log restoring health. The reason why we're doing this is because there's currently no way for the player to lose health. We haven't yet made our enemies shoot at the player, so we wouldn't see anything happen, even when it worked. So by adding in a debugging line, we're making sure that we're seeing something happen. We'll save our work, go back into Unity. Finally, we have to make sure that the player is tagged with the player tag. We'll go to the FPS controller object, and we'll change the tag from untagged to player. Remember, the health pickup, and in fact all pickups, are looking for colliders that belong to a game object that has this player tag. We'll choose that. Lastly, we need to make sure that our player has a damage-taking component. So we'll add a new component by going down to the very bottom of the FPS controller's components, clicking Add Component, and adding a damage-taking script. Let's save our work and start the game. And we'll go pick up. And we got it. It says Restoring Health. After about 5 seconds, it reappears, and we can pick it up again. We've now implemented one of our two pickups. In the next video, we'll implement the speed pickup.